Chair, thanks, gentlemen. I recognize the gentleman from California, Mr. Cardenas. 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Witnesses, I only have a short period of time, so I would appreciate yes or no answers to my questions. Congress is remarkably transparent. You can see the cameras filming us right now, and you can watch us on C-SPAN when you get home or any time you'd like. You can bring it up. You don't even have to have a hidden camera here. We're very transparent. That having been said, I have a question first to Dr. Yost. Have you seen any pro-life organizations who have created similarly manipulated videos showing this government making cuts in prenatal care funding? Yes or no? Have you seen any videos like that?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Have you seen any videos, manipulated or not, that show this government making cuts to prenatal care?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you. Same question to you, Mr. Maddox. You familiar with any videos like that showing those actions?
I'm aware of something very similar, where there was an organization, NARAL, who did investigations of pregnancy resource centers.
Yes or no, please.
I mean, NARAL did those investigations secretly, and you had a report that was actually submitted, the Waxman report, which is a well-known report, that was based on that sort of surreptitious evidence.
Okay. Mr. Maddox, have you seen any pro-life organizations who have created similarly manipulated videos showing the government making cuts to medical care for infants in this nation?
Other than NARAL's efforts, I don't know of another example like that.
Okay. No. And Dr. Yost, have you seen any pro-life organizations who have created similarly manipulated videos showing this government making cuts in early childhood education?
I can't say that I recall that.
Okay. Thank you. Finally, Mr. Maddox, have you seen any pro-life organizations who have created similarly manipulated videos showing the government making cuts in funding for food and medicine that otherwise would go to starving, sick children and mothers in this nation?
I would first have to object to the term manipulated, because these videos, the full versions of the videos have been released.
You didn't show full versions here as you made your presentation, so that's what I'm going on, sir, what you presented today. Excuse me, what Dr. Yost presented today before both of your testimony. So the videos that were shown today in this committee were not the full-length videos, suffice it to say. So I'll go on. Mrs. Waxman, you heard all of these questions. Have you heard any pro-life organizations making videos that create similar outcries and false narratives in this area?
No.
Thank you. You know, I've asked you these questions because I've not seen a pro-life organization come out and attack my friends on the right who have devastated every service that provides for the health of babies once they're born. In fact, I've heard so much about personhood lately and about life beginning at conception that it caused me to realize that something, and that is that people who say life begins at conception seem to believe it ends at birth when we look at all the cuts to what I just mentioned. The people who say they are pro-life, who will go to the ends of the earth to defend a fetus, have consistently, over decades and decades, made budget cuts with anti-science rhetoric and outright disregard for the lives of children whose hungry and sick cries echo throughout our nation, and have cut to the bone funding to keep them healthy and alive. We have one of the highest infant mortality rates in the industrialized world. More American babies die in infancy in this country than in Canada, in Croatia, and even in Cuba. I can't help but think maybe because there's no political gain to be had in caring for our kids, but there's plenty of money to be made in riling up people with anger and misinformation. The vast majority of what Planned Parenthood does is to keep mothers, children, and families healthy. And now there's an attack to even cut that. I have a question for you, Ms. Waxman. Have you noticed that my Republican colleagues have failed to admit the truth about the contributions of Planned Parenthood overall?
I would say yes.
Your mic, please.
Sorry. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for answering the question. Basically, too many people in this room are dodging the real issue. And if I wanted to see people dodge, I would go someplace else. I would never think that I would have to be in the committee of Congress to see that happen. Thank you. I yield back my time.